'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
I would not like to carry a sack of these.
The stockings were hung by the chimney.
Okay, my name is George Reinke, member of the 353rd, and I have a display of grenades and trench warfare weapons and equipment that would have been used during World War I from 1914 through 1918. Early war, they had to improvise. The British, the jam tin grenade, the batty bomb, both with fuses that had to be ignited with the Nobel fuse. Then as time progressed, industry was able to catch up and make the Mills bomb. During the course of the war, the British or the Empire forces were using 20,000 of these grenades a day, and British industry manufactured 70 million Mills bombs in World War I. On the French side, at the beginning of the war, every army was limited on grenades. Of course, they didn't expect trench warfare when the war started, the conflict started. Here's an improvised pipe bomb, pipe grenade, that the French used and actually made them through 1917 as needed when French industry couldn't keep up with their regular military style grenades. The Germans were a little bit better. They had the discus or turtle grenade. When the pin was pulled, the 4 prongs popped out. When one of them hit the ground, that would set it off. What the British did was put netting over their trench line to catch these and prevent them from exploding. This was an early war grenade as well as the Krugel grenade. Then the Germans actually had 3 different styles, or the evolution of the stick grenade. This was early war. This contact grenade had to hit the ground, but not that reliable, landing in soupy mud. Then they went to the more traditional stick grenade, but it was open-ended where they would pull the string. Water would get in here and compromise the fuse. So then they came up with the enclosed system where they would unscrew the bottom, pull the cord, and that would activate the grenade. This is a training grenade. And then these are Austrian grenades. Early war Austrian grenade then evolved into this style. Cardboard handles, not wood or steel. And then various trench warfare items that they would have had. This is Austrian, small German wire cutter, British wire cutter. Here's a French wire cutter, and a German flare gun. This is a German gas grenade, tear gas, as well as this is a French tear gas grenade. So they were using tear gas at the beginning. German pioneers had the sawback bayonet. The Allies went to Geneva Convention, and said this is an inhumane weapon. They agreed. Actually, the Germans then would file down the top part of this grenade or this bayonet to make it acceptable. There's reports that any German soldier caught with one of these after that time was actually shot because of the severity of the wound that this bayonet could create on the individual. Rifle grenades. This is the 3rd pattern, British rifle grenade. Insert the rod. The first pattern, this would land on explode on contact, but if there was a misfire and the grenade did not go that far past the trench, the Allied trench, it could land right in front of the shooter, cause him harm. So then they actually put like a weather vane on the back of this, and so many spins of the blades would then activate the grenade. That, again, because of the elements, wasn't that reliable, so there actually was a sleeve in here that when the full force of the projectile to launch it was reached, the sleeve would move and arm the grenade. The Germans also had one early war, and the same thing. This would explode. This had a time fuse in it, so once propelled into the air, it would explode in 5 to 7 seconds. And again, if there was a misfire of the rifle and it landed right in front of the shooter, it could also harm him, be detrimental to him. So then the Germans came up with a second pattern grenade like this, where this actually exploded on contact, so it was a much safer grenade for the rifle grenade for the Germans to use. And then as the war progressed, the Germans had the Inkpot grenade that actually, like the French grenade, was propelled, sat in a cup, and the bullet itself propelled it.
Tell us how long you've been reenacting.
Since the early 1980s, German all that entire time, and now, of course, going into the World War I theme, which has been very informative and educational and interesting, especially given that we're at the 100-year anniversary of World War I.
But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Ho, 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 ho.